All right. But you know what? It's a good day of the week. We are kicking off our week with a fabulous conversation. So, for those of you who are new to the Katie's Mission page or don't know what we're about, my name is Kim Ward, and I'm the founder and CEO of Katie's Mission. We are a nonprofit organization that is geared to really end the stigma around mental health and to prevent suicide. And so we are constantly bringing you experts from all different areas and facets of life to help provide you with resources that can help either improve the quality of your life, give you a fresh perspective and or resource. And I really think today's discussion will cover all of those avenues. So we have organizational expert, my girl, Erin. Hello.
Hello, thank you for having me.
I was gonna say welcome back, but I'm not sure that you've ever been on the Katie's Mission page.
I don't think so. I've been there for commenting and likes and loves, but that's about all.
Well, welcome to this side of the table. So Erin, she will help you declutter so that you can de-stress your physical home, your physical office, and also your virtual space as well. So if you want to know more about what that looks like, you're going to stick around for this conversation. But I also tagged Erin's group up in the comment area or the description area of the video. It's called Declutter and Destress. And that's kind of why we call this conversation Declutter to De-stress, because Erin, you know all too well really kind of what people go through when your office is cluttered or chaotic, or your home is cluttered or chaotic. So just kind of from your point of view, when someone's living in that space, what does that do to their anxiety or their inner self?
Well, obviously it does a lot. I can tell for me personally, if the house is cluttered, if there's a lot of things lying around, I am completely a feeling of overwhelmed, where my brain is constantly looking around saying this should be there, that should be there, that needs to be picked up, I need to do this, I need to do that. I can't rest, I can't calm down, I can't relax. I can't just like be present or be in the moment because my brain's just going crazy with what has to be done next or what should I be doing.
One big keyword that you said is overwhelm. And I know that what we know about overwhelm is that when we feel overwhelmed or the perception of overwhelm, we tend to retreat and we do nothing. And so if you are raising kids, if you either work a job that's outside of the home, or if you have a home-based business, that feeling of overwhelm is going to ripple into those other areas, right? So it's not just, oh gosh, I'm stressed out because it's cluttered in the house. It's, I can't focus on that because my mind is here and it needs to be over there right now. You recently have done a couple of challenges in your group, specifically one about the closet and the clothing. And I just want to touch on that because even for me, that was a really fresh perspective. And I just want you to touch on what you discussed in that challenge. So for the people watching, if they go into their closet and they're looking at their clothes and they're getting those certain feelings, walk us through that process.
Okay, this was quite a few years ago, but I hated my clothes. And like most women, it was always, you have multiple sizes of clothes in your closet. And one day I'm going to fit back into that size, or this is my goal size. And finally I decided, forget it. I'm going to get rid of all the clothes that didn't fit, that I didn't like, that basically did not make me happy or want to wear them. And so what I realized, I had no idea what effect this would have on me. So everything that didn't fit first to go. What I noticed is I had a ton of clothes that I absolutely loved. And where my brain was always going with, I have nothing to wear, was really me saying to myself, you're too fat for that outfit. That doesn't fit you. Why aren't you smaller? It was such negative self-talk. And every time I would go to my closet, instead of saying, look at all these beautiful, wonderful clothes that I love, that I have, it was, no, that makes me look ugly. That makes me look fat. That I can't wear. Why can't you wear that? And just constant. So once I got rid of those clothes, I went to get dressed in the morning and it was, oh my gosh, wow, look at all these clothes I have. I look fabulous in these clothes. So my self-worth increased with it. My confidence increased. I no longer dreaded walking into the closet and getting dressed in the morning because I was dressed in what I loved, what looked good on me. And then ironically, as crazy as it sounds, within the next year, I actually lost like 40 or 50 pounds. So had I kept the clothes, they would have all been too big.
Wow.
So it was just releasing that negative energy and focusing on the positive to just overcome all that. It was mind-boggling. I didn't expect that. I just expected more room in the closet.
I really appreciate where you're coming from, because as we teach about mental health, a lot of the conversations we have are either talking about big pharma or really eating nutritionally and clean eating and self-care, right? All those different avenues of self-care, whether it's meditation or going for walks. But I haven't seen really anybody coming out yet going, hold on, time out. That negative energy that you get when you walk into your closet that makes you feel frumpy, that makes you and I know, especially as women, the better we feel, the better we want to look, the more we kind of take care of ourselves, and we're willing to then do our hair or put some lipstick on or just really hold our shoulders back and our chin a little bit higher because you feel good. So I think that this is a very valuable and super fresh perspective about what is your closet like? What are your clothes saying? How is your home? So obviously, what kind of, I want to say like the other end of the spectrum. So we do the things to declutter so that we're feeling de-stressed. What does life look like now on the other end of that spectrum?
It's absolutely wonderful. It's going to a closet, everything I love. It's looking forward to getting dressed in the morning, being happy after I get dressed, walking out with, okay, let's conquer the day and how can we succeed, instead of, all right, how do we overcome this negativity?
I know, who has thought of this before? Like, you guys, like, you walk into your closet, and I get it. I get what you're saying. And it's not just closet talk. I mean, we're coming out of the closet here in just a moment. But when I look at like, yeah, that shirt, I have this memory attached to that shirt, or this, I have that memory. And it's like, I don't want to feel that. And my husband, he always says this to me, and I feel like subconsciously, I don't realize I'm doing it, but he'll go, oh, I knew you were kind of frumpy today based on what you wore, or I knew it was that time of the month because you're always choosing those same clothes. And I'm like, I don't even realize I'm doing it. So now we have that embedded on like a subconscious level. And I felt your energy shift when you were talking about the clothes negatively versus the clothes positively. Because now I see Erin, I have a visual of not just you, but us like coming out of the house like mopey Eeyore, versus like popping the door open and saying, hello world, and we feel good today. Like, woo,
Absolutely.
So what are maybe one or two tips or things that you can share with the audience if they're kind of looking around, they're like, yeah, I could use some sprucing up. Where do I start? What do I do?
I say start with the area with the items that cause you the most frustration. So pick an area, set a timer, 5, 10, 15 minutes, or do it by objects. Pick up 5 things, pick up 10 things, pick up 15 things. And it's amazing too, what I find is everybody has objects that they love, objects that they don't love, things that they like, don't like. But there's somebody gave this to me, I have to keep it, or I'm not grateful. And so it's easy for a house to be full of things that really aren't you, don't really say a whole lot about you, but I have to keep it because, or I can't get rid of it because.
I'm laughing on the inside because I don't watch a lot of TV. I really don't. Over this past weekend, my husband turned on the show Hoarders, and then he kind of went outside. So I got stuck watching it. And one of the women who was a hoarder, she had like her kids' trophies and things from when they were young, but not normal trophies, like boxes and boxes and boxes just kind of tucked into the middle of the rooms. And it was the psychologist at the time that said, would you be okay getting rid of these? Extenuating circumstances. There was more to the story. And she's like, no. And he had to give her that shift that you just gave us right now of those sentimental feelings and memories. They're in your heart and they're in your head. They're not in a thing or in an item. And that was just so powerful and timely, because I'm like, I just heard that from a psychologist. And now here's my organizational expert friend saying the same thing. And it's really cool. I also love what you said about the timers, because I'm big on timers. I love timers. I think that we get just less distractions, super focused, and so much more productive. So I know that when people are like really in a depressive state, or maybe even a manic state, or just a slump, doing your dishes, loading your dishwasher, cleaning the microwave, it feels like a daunting task. So when you set a timer, start with 60 seconds, start with 2 minutes, and get done what you can get done in that quality of work in that time period. You feel better. And when you feel better, you can take on more and do more.
Or put on a distraction. I mean, I was washing dishes, I think it was last week, and I hate washing dishes. So I totally feel that some pain there. I decided I was listening to a podcast. Well, before I knew it, the dishes were done and the podcast was still going. Nice. So if you focus on something other than the task in which you're doing, you actually enjoy, get 2 things done at once, and then you're super motivated because you're not looking at your dirty dishes and you just listen to something you love.
That's really cool. That's really cool. So tell us a little bit about your group that you have, Declutter and Destress.
So what I love most about my group is what I'm doing is once a week, I'm giving declutter tips on Tuesdays. That may change, but right now it's on Tuesdays. And then Wednesdays, I go in and tell you how to organize whatever it is. Like this past week was a wallet, how to declutter your wallet. And that was great because I found a credit card that expired 2 years ago that I never use in it. So we forget about crazy things like that. And then how to organize it. And so you feel, like you're in control. You don't pull out the card and it gets declined because it, is an old card. So that's what I like to do. But mainly I like to give simple, easy tasks that can be done that day, that can be done in 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and not bombard people with things, or myself, because I know depending on your schedules, especially when my kids were younger, to declutter, that takes hours. And well, I didn't have hours to do that. Not many people do with or without kids. So something you can do, and then you can enjoy the difference that it's made. And at least you could go to your wallet or to your object and be like, well, that's one thing that's clean and organized. Let's see what else we can declutter and organize throughout the house.
I love that you said wallet. Like, who thinks of that? But it's true. Like when you open up your wallet, are there old rewards cards and receipts and things just falling out? And that speaks to kind of where your energy is. And that really makes a big, big difference with mental health. And what I appreciate about what you do and what you bring to the table is that you help the physical environment of the home, the physical environment of the business, but also the virtual business as well. So, when you think of, gosh, this drives me nuts when I see other people share their inbox and there's like 2,000 unread messages in their email. My anxiety immediately is at an all-time high. So what are some of the ways that you can help us there in the virtual space?
I do folders, and you know how my brain works, so I know you're gonna laugh, but I must have 15 to 20 folders in my email. So what I do is, when I get it from a specific person or a specific group, I just immediately put it into that envelope, put that into that box, and then I go back and look at them when I have time. So I try to keep my emails, under 20, 30, depending on, what's going on and how much time I can give to that. Because looking at 400 emails, oh my gosh, I would lose my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen inboxes with over 2,000. I'm like, I can feel it in my throat. I can feel it. I can't look anymore. It really, it gives me a lot of anxiety. So, for somebody like myself who, not necessarily a control freak, but I do like order. I really do. And it's like, everything has a place. I'm not over the top OCD, but I like to know where things are. Having that reactive, chaotic feeling and energy. I imagine someone who they're always late with their alarm clock. They're hitting snooze. They're not getting out of bed. You've already really lost the power in your day when you wake up like that. And so I just have this vision of like before and after working with yourself. Maybe things are messy. Maybe the bathroom and the counters are messy and your closet is atrocious. And then, the after feeling, I get like butterflies and squirrels running around like with Snow White. It's just a nice fuzzy feeling. And you have products, right, that help us with the organization process as well.
Yes. And it's funny you said that because you brought up a really great point. And another reason why I like to keep things simple. You don't want to change too much all at once. So I decided that I was going to take everything out of my binders, and I had like probably 4 or 5 binders, and put them all into hanging file folders and separate them. Well, in my organization, I came up with new tab names and knew this name, and everything is completely different. Well, you know what happens when you change everything all at once? You don't remember the new system, or you don't remember where anything is. So I think it took me a week to catch on to, how did I change this? What did I do? So when you're organizing and decluttering, keep it simple, please, not like I decided to do for some reason. And I tried to simplify it. I think that was the problem, instead of making it elaborate like I normally do. Keep it simple. Don't try to change everything at once, because I think it's taken me longer to try to figure out the new system and where things are. It's just crazy. So that's why I laughed when you said that.
That's funny. That's funny. What's really fantastic in that story is that experts like yourself, you try the dumb things, you do the dumb things, and you make that pathway more paved for people like us, who are watching and learning from you. Is that like, Erin's made the dumb mistakes, let her do it, let her make the hard ones. And that way, when you go into Erin's group or when you work with her, you can now lock arms with somebody knowing that she can get you to your goal faster by, condensing your learning curve quite a bit. And that's pretty cool.
And I knew when I did it, I know little changes. Don't make any big sudden changes. Do it gradually. Like, I'm saying this to myself as I'm doing it. And 3 days later, I'm like, where does this piece of paper go? What color file folder does this go in? I don't know. But it's wonderful. So the little file folders are nice and pretty. And, I separated one by my kids' life, house life, and then work life. So they're in categories. I labeled those, so at least I had a heads up on that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, is there anything that, there are things that you want people to know about you, about your group, about really how you can help them take control back and feel empowered and light and free and just in charge?
Just little steps, things that you think will not matter. I'm kind of I like to be 100% or nothing. So if I can't make the whole house perfect, or I can't fix this problem 100%, then I tend to forget of how, 5 to 10 minutes every day can really add up, the baby steps as far as what you're doing to get good progress, good results. And little tiny things that you don't think make a difference. Like if there's this big basket of towels sitting in the living room, your body constantly says, have to walk around that basket, have to go around this, have to do this. And you don't notice it until you finally get around to folding it, that your body's still telling you, I have to walk around this. And you see how you maneuver throughout your house differently, and how much thought and exhaustion really goes into a cluttered atmosphere or house or inbox or whatever it may be. It really helps you make clear judgments, little tiny steps where you can start thinking more positively, have a little more self-worth, and then go over after the bigger challenges in your life.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, you've given us a lot of value today and a lot of perspective, and I appreciate you so much for doing this. Now, I did tag your group, Declutter and Destress. You guys get into this group. I'm in this group. I have so much fun. I learned so much from Erin. And you do a monthly game night for your tribe members as well.
Yes, I was just thinking of that. That's funny. It was like you were reading my mind.
I'm feeding off your energy. So tell us about what kind of crazy things you got going on.
Right now, we've just been playing bingo every night. I thought it was something incredibly silly, but it's amazing how it's just been truly a lot of fun. Just hop on. I'll send you bingo cards. Mark them however, print them out, mark them however works for you. and we play and we have fun, and everybody asks when the next bingo night is, or, oh man, I can't make it to that night. So yeah, it's really a lot of fun.
Well, we're addicted over here, and my 6-year-old makes us clear our schedule if we can't make. I think we were actually on her physical birthday. We were on
Yes.
your bingo night too. So we upped on, and you guys all saying happy birthday, but I don't think we've missed one yet, and we probably won't, God willing. So, thank you for providing the fun and the value in the entertainment and allowing us to get that new perspective of how we can kind of lift those boulders off of our shoulders and free our energy and really start to kind of reclaim our power. So Declutter and Destress, tap on that link right above. You can get into Erin's group, and she will over deliver for you. Erin, thanks so much. If there's nothing else, we can end it here, but I just wanted to make sure we covered everything we needed to cover.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
All right, my pleasure. Bye, guys.
Yes,
I'll see you in the group, and I'll see you
Bye.
at bingo night.
Yes.